Fuzzy Bear. Okay. Water, 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 water. Where's the trash can? There it is. Water. Alright. That's going there because as soon as this thing is not needed. How's it going, Ray? How's it going, Trav? Alright. Oh, tell me I didn't leave that thing on all night with the lens cover open. Bugger. Yep. Just begun. Let's see how much time I have remaining of filming. 2 hours, 39 minutes. That should be enough. I hope. I sincerely hope. Okay. Alright. Turn this back on. Extend that down. Yeah, I totally left it on all night. I mean, it was plugged in, so the battery wasn't going on, but I like to make sure I close the lens cover. Ugh. Oh. There. Alright, I already filmed the waterproofing of the thing. Hopefully it's waterproofed enough. I really don't like it though. That spray sucks. I'm going to urethane all future projects. It's coated enough so that if any water hits this project, it's going to take it some time to affect it. But I prefer the urethane. I think my other ones are much better protected, even though it takes longer, has longer driving time. How's it going, Joey? Flitters. Oh. How's it going, Mona? There's some areas on here that just don't look like they got well coated. Oh. I know I sprayed the hell out of it too. I can always re-urethane it later. But point of fact, it is sprayed. It is waterproofed. It will be alright. I'm glad you're feeling better, Ma. Let's do some cheating before we begin here. How's it going, Ross? Alright, I'm not going to need much more than that on the creepy cloth. That's almost too much, actually. The agenda for tonight is to finish the filming on the construction phase of the witch orb. The intro I need to work on because the primary effect that I was going to do for it doesn't seem to want to fade in and out or be audio activated on my video editor, which I'm somewhat chagrined on, but oh well. Maybe just a matter of me figuring out how to best do it. Alright, that should be fine. Agenda is chill out, party like it's 2018. Oh dear. And drive the cat a little nuts. If you dive into a shopping bag, cat, you will never catch the creepy cloth. Ooh. Good boy. Don't drag it away. Don't drag it. How to weather your creepy cloth. Let your cat claw at it for a few minutes. Also works for burlap and other cloths. Alright, you gotta let go. Come on. Come on. Let go. Chew on it a little bit. Let go. Good boy. Good boy, Fuzzy Bear. For your cooperation in weathering the creepy cloth, we shall give a little bit of laser beam. Oh boy. Okay. Slide that back in the bag. Let's get this thing ready to actually be a drape. But again, we're going to cheat and make this ahead of time. I'm also going to cheat because I got to get some fluff ready. I think a new pair of scissors wouldn't hurt. Oh my, you pulled it out, you little schnot. Feel free to tear the other half of the $1 piece of creepy cloth, cat. You earned it. Whew. Well, I still have to get the video for the witch orb all done. After that, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Well, about all I really want to accomplish for this summer. Everything else is going to be just projects before Halloween. Hey, nope. Nope. You're not chewing that. Alright. One sec. Good boy. You're okay. You're okay. Can't be chewing the end of that, though. The creepy cloth you can tear up, Sam. But not the foam cutting tool end. This is okay. That's okay. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. You can go ahead and go to town on that. All right, let's grab another handful of polyfill. I should have some more of that. Oh, yeah. I got another couple witch orbs worth of this stuff. Thank heavens, that means we're using it. Yep. To the other side. What'd you do with the creepy cloth, Samhain? Yeah, they're a good project. A little time consuming, but good project. definitely need a pair of scissors. Cool. Anything that works that you can get on the cheap. As long as you like it. Okay. I'm going to need the first V3 witch orb. Mangle the threads on this a bit. You know, honestly, if you use the drape, there's no point in doing all the other stuff on this. Most of it's lost. Most of the detail is lost in this. That's right, I need some plastic. You know. What happens if I just grab this through a creepy cloth over, around, and through it? There's too much at the junctures, but yeah, I don't know if I even like the concept of the drape. If you're going to do the drape, there is no point to any of the surface detail because it practically obscures all of it. Looks swampy, but the hell was the point? You could take a ball. In fact, I've got something that I can do with that. If you're gonna do a drape, you can just take a ball. Looks like I've already even got a light stuffed in here. It's one of the crummy lights, but you could easily replace it with a green. Find some way to suspend it. You can even block parts off with paint not having to worry about all the exterior detail. Alexa, turn off craft light. And that could drape. Wouldn't be as tight as that. That would be loose, hanging around the edges. You could. In fact, we could try some thinner strands. I've got some other pieces. Alexa, turn on craft light. Actually, that might be the way to go. Good call, Mona. Good call. Cat ran off with the other piece, but I've got like 6 of the darn things down there, so I feel fine screwing up with this one. Let's just tear off or cut up off a couple of loose strips. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 strips. Let's see what we got here. Let's open these up a bit. Sam, you ran off with the entire half of a piece of creepy cloth, all right? Be happy for it all. All right, and let's just... just skewer this right on there. You know, they might, Martin. I just don't have anything like that. It would add the thin, floaty stuff. I'm just so used to using creepy cloth for this. I've been using creepy cloth so long. I hardly even think of other materials anymore. Something there. Open this up. Just skewer it on here. Hot glue it on if you wanted to. Yeah, that's got a nice effect to it. I think I'll throw one more on down here. Cheesecloth is a little bit thicker than creepy cloth. Could work. This stuff's just already made this way. Looking at pure economicalness. But yeah, it would work. And no doubt there's lots of stuff that would work for this function. And again, this step is one of those purely optional kinds of things. If you wanted to, you could just take a dab of hot glue and throw these on there. Now you got a little extra spook hanging from your witch orb. But we got to pull all these off for the moment because we got to talk about stuffing the witch orb, and we got to talk about capping the bottom. So we're going to pretend that we didn't do all this stuff first. Nobody will know. Shh. Whew. Then I gotta go over my usual procedures for the yarn at the top. You can even take something that was green, fluffy, stringy like moss and drape it down. There's lots of options. Get some green fluff yarn and have it descend through. Okay, let's also prep the yarn. I'll need 5 more of these. Then, gotta find what I did with that scrap plastic. And hopefully I don't get a cat claw on the side as Sam decides to go after this yarn. No, furball. No. 3. Excellent. Yeah, it's a very good solution for the witch bottles. They've already got the handles on them. Hang them wherever you want. 5. May as well hang them on up. Oh boy, cat. Oh boy, fuzzy bear. Cafe latte is the color of this yarn. Okay, got that. Got stuffing here. I need the piece of plastic for the inside. Oh. Sam, what did you do with the plastic? What'd you do, buddy? What'd you do? What did you do? Huh? Silly bear. You know, I don't see it around. I wonder if I can get away with this lid. Hi. Oh boy. This one's actually a little bit better. Oh, pardon. That will stop the light source from sliding around. However, it will be a friggin' nightmare to get out. Yeah. Sam says, laser or I don't not talk. Nothing without the laser. Sorry, that is a nightmare to get out there without the thing. Where did I put that spare plastic? Oh, you know, I put the spare plastic with the garbage bin, and I emptied the garbage bin, so that means I gotta grab another one. Fortunately, there's one right across the room because I have been saving this stuff for this very purpose. Come on, people. Rinse out first. Now, let's hope that this will be big enough to cover that hole. Damn. All right, time to go grab that piece of gallon jug from the garbage, BRB. Right now, I learned to never ever throw anything potentially crafty out. Ever. Okay, okay. Let's try that again. I know that's big enough. Alright, so we have this material nearby. My hands are a little wetter than I'd like. Yeah, that's the problem though. You just start turning into a friggin' pack rat. Can I get rid of this garbage? No, I might need it for a craft project, maybe conceivably at some point. It's 9-year-old milk jugs. No! I might need it. Alright, we got a light. We got a remote. We got a whole bunch of fluff. We need to test a method with the fluff. Before, I've always done the tease it out, tease it out, tease it out method. I wonder if it's better to stuff it in, stuff it in, stuff it out. Nope. I'm going to teach tease it out, tease it out, tease it out. And what happens, wow, he is really, really all over that creepy cloth. Okay, let's get the lantern out of the shot. It's a little warm tonight, too. Samhain, don't mess with the lantern. Drink of lemonade. Don't need raw cotton in the shot. Don't need a heat gun in the shot. Need anybody who joins to know that we are filming. That's fine, that's fine. Here we go. Grab a big bunch of poly fluff. And the cat's going nuts. Okay. Oh, he better not do that for 10 minutes. Sam. All right, I think he's good. Madge, can you go play with your son? He's a bit of a basket case right now. Yeah, good girl. Alright, let's film this thing. Let's film it with it starting face up with an impressive angle towards the camera. camera as close. There we go. Okay. Which orb is entirely waterproofed at this time? I used the spray waterproofer. I'll be honest, I didn't like the one I used. I'm probably going to go back to just painting urethane on. It takes longer. It's a more arduous process. It takes longer to dry as well. But I thought with the urethane painted on, I got a better coat everywhere that I wanted it to get. And I was more happy with the seal. But this is still waterproofed enough that if it starts raining on Halloween night, I am pretty sure that I got plenty of time to grab this and get it inside. And I can always go back over it later, after undoing everything I'm about to show you. So, what we need to do now is get our filling inside in order to diffract and diffuse all the light from our light source. The filling, in accordance to our stuff that everybody can get that is pretty cheap, is going to be polyfill. This is the stuff that teddy bears are full of, and many pillows and other fun stuff is full of. It's just cheap polyester fluffy filling that you can get at virtually any craft store on the super cheap. Hello, cat. When I fill these things up, what I like to do is I like to just pull the polyfoam apart to make it as, well, make it as least dense as I possibly can, and then stuff that piece in. It is handy while doing this to have something to stuff the polyfoam or polyfill down, because you're going to find there are times it doesn't like to fill in evenly, and you need to push it in from the sides, and you are just going to fill the orb up. It will try to spill out the sides a little bit, but for the most part, all the filaments and the side boundaries here, these branches, will keep it contained. So again, the procedure is just grab a handful and kind of tease it out to make it as little density as possible. That's not even a phrase, actually, but, well, it suits the instruction. Thin it out, thin it out, thin it out, and then stuff that thinned out piece in. And you're going to stuff it in until this stuff is almost at the very tip top, and then we will toss in our light source. No doubt I am in fast forward mode by now, so chatterbox time. Stuff always loves to go for areas, make inconsistent stuffings. teaching mode moment here. As you go through and do this, you may find that there are spots that the polyfill simply does not want to go into. One of two methods is called for. Either you reach in with your fingertips or a pair of needle nose pliers or some such device, grab the polyfill and pull it towards the spots that it doesn't want to go into, or grab a piece of polyfill, shove it in from the sides, and stuff it into unoccupied areas. You really do want this stuff to take up as much of the internals as possible. Another method that keeps it going where it's got to go is you can pull a bit out and then hook it into the filaments, and that will kind of help it stay where it's supposed to be and stop it from retreating back inside the orb. Once your orb is reasonably full of polyfill, it's time to add your light source. Of course, you need something to stop your light source from falling right back out the bottom of the orb. What I like to do is grab a good old milk jug. This one has seen some service already, but cut a big old circle out of milk jug plastic. One that is far too big for that hole. I'm going to give this a little bit more rounding here. Toss your light source in. Then you have the joyful task of trying to get the plastic plate in behind it. One of the easier ways to do that is to simply cut a line right up on through to the center. This will give you a little bit of conical fold over, which sometimes helps and is sometimes still something of a misery to get in. You can also use it as a bit of a feed point. But come heck or high water, if you do it right, once it's in there, your light source will sit on the plastic piece. I don't worry too much about anchoring the plastic piece because I haven't had any of these things swinging so hard that they have come off yet. Doubtless my opinion on that may change with time. Then you can make small adjustments just by reaching your finger in, sliding things around as you like. But at this point, you should have a functional witch orb. Alexa, turn off craft light. And there we go. If you find there are any areas where you can still see the light through there, you can readjust your polyfill to cover it more completely. You can stuff a little bit more polyfill in to cover up that light. If you find there are any spots that are too thick and you find that they're just completely occluding the light, you can pull some polyfill out, no problem. But this, in general, is the Witch Orb project. And this thing is, for all intents and purposes, apart from stringing it up, done. There are, however, a few more optional things that you can do, which we'll go over here in just a moment. Alexa, turn craft light on. Of course, the other glorious thing is if you use these lights for multiple projects, well, then you'll find that just about everything is operating off of a single set of remotes for your haunt. And it all starts going. You can control everything. I thought I shook this bottle up earlier. Oh, Jesus, come on. Yeah, it's just a not in my day-to-day. Tell me this one's still okay. Yeah, good. Alright. Okay. Found today that the fabric softener was starting to separate from the water in the witch bottles. It takes about 2 weeks for it to happen. And obviously, if you give it a little shake up, it goes right back to normal. But that is the fabric softener longevity. How's it going, James? turn on the orb. That'll do it. Man, everybody's having balloon failures. Glad you recovered from it. Tell me you didn't buy cheap balloons. All right. Let's film the next little bit. With the bulk of the orb done, it's time to talk about hanging and accessories. The main accessory you can put on these things are dangly bits. And there's no limit to the amount of fun little dangly bits you could put on. If you want to put on dangly little bone charms, go for it. This is some creepy cloth, which most veteran haunters are aware of. It appears right around the Halloween season, and is that hooky cloth that you can put on tablecloths, over lights, and over everything to make it look gluck. It is dirt cheap. But a couple tiny pieces of this, suspended from a few of the choice protrusions, can give you a little bit of hanging creepification. And all I'm doing is just opening up a spot in it, sliding the creepy cloth over. If you wanted to, you could certainly add a drop of hot glue to hold it in place. And now when this is suspended, it will have a couple added bits. You could drape some mossy effects from it. All sorts of stuff could enhance your witch orb to that one step beyond what it normally is. But then your final step is hanging it. And I'm not going to tell you how to hang a witch orb. I'm just going to tell you how I hang a witch orb. Because quite frankly, you guys could have put any number of loops in your own witch orbs. Again, I use 3. You could put it as few as 1 and just simply hung it. I take a couple pieces of brown yarn that vaguely match the color. I feed 2 pieces into each loop. I string them out in a group of 4, and then I pretend that I know how to braid, which I don't. And I intentionally do it badly, with no pattern whatsoever. What I get in the end is something that gives me something that looks like a piece of twisted vine, because there is absolutely no pattern to the braid. I'm just going to do this until I reach more or less the end of this section. I have 6 equidistant pieces of yarn. In the end, I have a horrendously badly braided section of yarn here, which is just twisted up to vaguely match the wood of the witchwood. It can't completely match it because, well, it's just yarn. Then at the end, I just tie a knot to keep this together. I'll repeat this process 2 more times, so all 3 of my sections have their vaguely viney, woody twists. Good, and this will all be done in fast forward. I'll have to make sure that plastic milk jug or similar material is on the materials list for this project. once you have your 3 strands all set and good to go, go ahead and give your witch orb a lift, and then decide if it is as level as you want it to be. This one, surprisingly, lifted up quite level. But if I wanted it to angle up more on one side, I'd have to pull up on that particular strand a little bit and just grab it at the top that way. Then once I had everything the way I wanted, have all 3 strands at the top set and good, and I am just going to tie them into a single knot. All together. I can hook right on that. I can cut off this top knot if I want, or leave it, however the case may be. But now, the witch orb is ready to suspend. And it is done. Thanks very much for enjoying the project with me, and I hope your orbs turn out as spooky as you want to make them. Oh, it's done! The main filming is done! Yep, now we gotta do the ingredients and the intro. Oh, pardon. Which bottle orb? That isn't exactly nice. If I try to write with that, I'm going to have a hole in the paper plate and not much else. We are finishing up the filming on the witch orb, which we just did. Except we just need to do the introduction and the ingredients list. Balloon stand, puck light, wire cutters, hot glue gun, mache paste, cotton batting, cotton balls, cotton quill, saturation chamber, urethane / waterproofer, polyfill. We need, let's see here, jug plastic, gallon jug plastic, yarn, orb colored yarn, yarn / rope, and then we need accessory of choice, creepy cloth, bone charm, etc. I think that is the complete thing here. Extensions, wire wrapping cotton piece to wrap around, twist and dunk, make protrusion the same time as bottom or top. Only thin hat. True rinse prong caution. We filmed that. Yeah, it's all good. Good. It's all done. So now I have two witchy orbs. Yay! I mean, technically I have 4, but I have 2 of the actual, like, I like this type. I may still pull all the stuff out of this one and go over it in urethane. Because, God, that other stuff sucks. All right. That means it's lantern time. Because I want to do that intro kind of special. I'll use the restroom. Be right back. Hey, what's up, cat? Now that filming's done, light fan action here. Oh, fell over. Yeah, it happened on mine as well. Some of the goobers started pulling away. That's no biggie. So long as you've got just an attachment to the bottom, doesn't matter. How's it going, last word? Neither can I. It's gonna be nice this year. Lots of cool projects to make it better. Yeah, I'm about to get working on one of them right now. Let's see how this came out. Actually adhered to the plastic surprisingly well. So I got 2 more trees. All the stuff by the skulls. You know, realistically, last word, preparing. I've got enough stuff right now that I can do nothing, and I will be fine for Halloween. I have plenty of stuff for my haunt. So everything right now is just kind of gravy. It's just things to cycle in and cycle out. Because I've got some stuff there that we've been using for years, and I'd rather it didn't make the scene every single year, because all the kids will start going, oh yeah, it's that thing again. So yeah. Yeah, actual preparation, we start our real haunt preparation right around October. First weekend in October, we haul everything from my garage to the haunt site, and then we set up little bits. Hey, Samhain. We set up little bits every weekend in between. But all the main stuff comes out the day before Halloween and the day of, and then it all gets packed up and returned. Yep. Good stuff, Mom. I have never done milk jug skulls, Stacy. I would like to. I would really like to. But I have not. The main thing I'm missing is a good resin skull that won't deform underneath the heat. And like the PVC stand, all the stuff that you need to get it going. That's what I'm missing. Yeah, the beach ball pumpkins are, as far as I'm concerned, where it's at. Eventually I will be making milk jug skulls, I have no doubt. I gotta kind of assess what the skull tolerance of my haunt is. Not want skulls creeping out from everywhere, but I do kind of want to blend in more scully elements. Something. Wow, what's up? How's the fuzzy cat? Alright, cutting. Cotton. Alright, this goes in the back. Cotton goes in the front. Oh. Wow. What do you mean, wow? Dollar Tree's got some not too bad skulls, Sergeant. For 99-cent skulls, they're pretty good. Depends on how well they're made, Stacy. If you have a crappy plaster skull and there's any kind of air bubbles in that outer layer and you start hitting it with heat, the outer layer is going to expand, crack, and start to flake off. Fortunately, it does not take a lot of heat to make the milk jug skull, so sometimes you can get away with it if you've got a plastic skull and you cover it in aluminum foil to just heat shield it a little bit. I have seen / heard of that done. Bottle's the easier project as far as I'm concerned. Bottle also takes about 1/5 the amount of time. and it looks every bit as good. Oh, having that fan on is so much better. My heavens. There we go. Alright, let's get this cotton done up. Paper towels so my hand gets absolutely plastered. Wow. There's my drink. Yeah, it's surprisingly humid here as well. Very surprising. Especially considering the last couple weeks have been relatively cool compared to this one. It's like summer all of a sudden remembered, oh wait, it's August, they're not over yet. Oh. Oh, you're down Long Island. Cool. Tell me, Stacy, you ever go to a hunt fair down there? Cat, what's up? What's your problem now? Oh, cool. I probably saw you there a couple of years ago. I haven't done one for a few years. That used to be my favorite summer event. It's all good, Mona. It's all good. Now, the last one I went to was in Hauppauge, I think. They had the hotel there. It was all done at the hotel. That was a nice setup. No. Yeah. Cat, enough. Because that other one, they tried to hold it in like, it's like March, February, and just driving at that time of winter for me is a no. This is a witchwood paneled lantern that I'm not going to say I was talked into making because nobody talked me into it, but we started talking about how to do it, and writing it down just wasn't the same as just whipping out some pieces and making it. Not sure I caught all that, Stacy. So if you get a room above the 50th floor, you get your money back? What? I'm not sure what you were saying. Yep, it's made from a soda bottle core. Yeah, I figured with that time frame they had for it, it would be a low attendance event, sadly. Shame. I know this year that the gal who normally organizes it is battling cancer, so yeah, no, no qualms about that or hard feelings in any way, shape, or form. Hey, Sapphire. If you have 50 floors of strobe lights, no thanks. I can handle it, but no problems with epilepsy or anything like that. I just wouldn't prefer it. Ah, let's see. Oh, they had one of those scare elevators. Gotcha. I mostly like going to Haunt Fair for the classes. Going to see Leonard Pickle and the lighting effect guys. Try to find ways to make my haunt better. It's amusing because they're all, super professional. We do big time haunts, and I'm just a yard haunter, but I still enjoy it. Yep, the fridge kicked on. Don't worry, gang. As soon as I film the intro for the orb, you're coming off the fridge. First thing I do, you're coming off the fridge. I might even film that tonight, later on. Oh, come on. Everybody's going to get off the fridge. I think I'll look at the other trees tonight. Nice. This is going to be a huge tree. Oh my god. You using the heat gun for that, Carla? I'm imagining using the old transparency paper. From the overhead projectors at school. I actually wonder if you could take that stuff, maybe cut it into some slightly hemispherical shapes. I don't know if it would stick to itself, though. You could even get like a, if you could get like a round bowl form for that. Stick the stuff inside the bowl. You could practically use the milk jug skull method for it. Alright. Actually, that does get me thinking now. What if you had a bowl that had the right size, and you had your open milk jug plastic, and you started doing a reverse of the milk jug skull, and you stretched your plastic across the bowl and started heating it and getting it down in there with your cold water sponge, and you made a hemisphere in the bowl, which ideally would be a total hemisphere bowl, and then you cut it out, and then you just got your other side and you made a sphere with it. That could conceivably work. And then to hide the seam, you just run one of your descending branches down over it. That could be a pretty sexy way of doing it. I just don't own a hemispherical ceramic bowl. I've looked into that, Mona. None of them are big enough for the right price. You can get like 8-inch ones, but then they're costing like $9, $10 a pop. So yeah, I looked at that avenue. It just didn't appeal for the price point, sadly. Maybe after Christmas if they go on super sale. Then hell yeah. Hopefully it will. I wonder what other substances dry to a clear plastic consistency for a good price point. 7 inches isn't a bad one. In fact, we could have this thing right here anyway. What's the diameter of my orbs? Yep, the diameter of my orbs is approximately 7 inches. Five and a half inches, unfortunately, won't cut it. That's a softball-sized orb. Give me 7 inches or give me death, said no woman ever. Oof, pardon. Oh, I hope I get my car back tomorrow. Hopefully just a battery. If I'm terribly unlucky, it'll be some stupid alternator, blah, 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 blah. This thing, that thing, huge repair bill, blah, blah, blah. But, as I mentioned last night, Thank God I am not 20 anymore. So, it'll be one of those. There's a huge repair bill. Here you go. This does not come as a surprise, and I do have cash to pay it with. Yeah. You can always get the expensive acrylic fillable ornaments. They will never deflate on you. They will always love you. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. But again, these days it is a matter of, yeah, I got it covered. Nobody likes having them, but I should go to Party City once I get my car back and see if they've got some different size beach balls there. Oh, orbs should go great on a beach ball. Absolutely great. In fact, I should film a quick segment on using a beach ball for the orb. Let's do that while I'm thinking of it. How did I put that orb? There it is, okay. Stay away from the sticky, nasty paste. Let's turn it on. Just the one. Alexa, turn off craft light. Let's hope that fan is not in the back here. It's gonna be. Oh, I'll just unplug it. A brief public service announcement from the kind folks in my live stream chat as I'm filming this. We'd like to remind everybody that if you don't get balloons for this project, it is highly recommended that you get some sort of beach ball. A 7-inch diameter to 8-inch diameter one works great. So if you're at all worried that you're going to fill up balloons for this and the balloons will pop and your witch orb will go every which way but kersplat, get a beach ball of the right diameter and use that instead of balloons to stop yourself from having very messy problems with this project. This has been a public service announcement. Thank you very much. And that's going in the video. Alexa, turn on craft light. Well, that's good, Carla, because it's polyester. Oh, dear. I must have been awake too long. I used wire for the protuberances. And nothing else, really. They're only for the protuberances. At least with this version of the orb. Yep, approximately 18 gauge plastic covered garden wire. You know what else you could probably use? You could take a balloon. You could take Great Stuff foam. You could probably coat the balloon in Great Stuff and then pop the balloon. And that might hold up all right. You might also be able to just take a piece of styrofoam or get yourself a styrofoam ball. If you had a hot wire foam factory tool, you could core it down so it's really thin. That would also work. Yeah, cotton for the outside, polyfill for the inside. It's all in the tutorial. Why didn't you watch? Oh, I haven't made it yet. Sorry. I did, yes. It was good going over to Will's place. It was kind of amusing. Will was making some sort of, I think it was a rhubarb pie that night, and he has recently had a daughter, a daughter named oh my God, daughter named Laura, and we're all sitting around the gaming table, and his wife Alana, who I know from college, is coming over, and she's going to cut the pie, but she's got Laura in her arms, and she's gone over to cut the pie, but she can't do it because she's got a baby. So she comes back over. She's like, "Will, I'm sitting right there." She's like, "Here, have a baby." She plops Laura right in my face. It's like, okay, yep, no problem. That was just kind of amusing. Mona, is that the goobers for the sides of the orb? Alright, well, the ones for the sides of the orb are different from the bottle ones. The bottle ones are just protracted goobers. The orb ones, you know, let's move you guys down to the right level now. Come here. Everybody come here. Come here. Everybody's going to go back to their nice, normal, ordinary spots. And we'll have the helping hands for later. There, we're back. Shall restore you to your rightful place on the tripod, away from the fridge and its gurgly noises. You shall only have to listen to the fan. Yep, entrance come out okay. I like having you guys on the tripod a lot more. Let's see the projects better. And I'll swap things out. I'm doing the intro off stream camera anyway. more stuff in there. Let's keep it. It's not bad at all. It's holding up. I mean, you can't go wrong with the cotton. It makes tree. It's just... These skulls I did not get at the Dollar Tree, though. These were more Party City style skulls, just FYI. Dollar Tree should have some skulls, but they are not these skulls. Another week or two, Home Depot, actually Lowe's has got, well, I've seen Lowe's skulls. Some of the Lowe's skulls really kind of suck. Plus, I don't know what you guys have in your local areas. Plus, with it first coming out, everything's going to be pricey at this point anyway. Oh yeah, Southern California, you'll have all sorts of places. Lots of options. I'm in rural central New York, so my options will be far more limited than yours. Lowe's doesn't have anything terribly impressive this year, but it's all right. Oh, Home Goods has good stuff. Oh, I'm calling down to Binghamton then. Home Goods is the one place I really enjoy going. And you got to make sure you get there quickly, though. Home Goods will also sell out of their good stuff. Then again, on Long Island, you're liable to get the Home Goods coming out with the stuff earlier. One year, Home Goods had a Headless Horseman snow globe that I wanted quite desperately, and nobody had any left. Oh yeah, we got Christmas out in the dollar store around here already too. Hey, I always thought fair is fair. If you're going to do Christmas in October, then St. Patrick's Day needs to start around, let's see here, December. Halloween is supposed to start in June. Just keep the rules the same for everybody. That's okay. You can pull that crap. Just pull that crap for everybody. It's fine. Valentine's Day starts in October. It's one of the main things that killed Christmas for me, unfortunately. I'm spending 4 months in holly jolly hell. Yep. Well, I'll tell you, when I get my car back, I tell you, hello, Home Goods? Do you have your Halloween stuff out? Why, yes, he hung up. Hi, I'm here. The minute you said yes, I got in the car and I sped off to begin with. I wouldn't mind going to AC Moore for some more of their little LED light-up Halloween posters, but I've already got so many of them. I can't even put them up on the walls anymore because I don't have enough wall space. Kind of hit that too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing barrier. I've gotten some really amazing stuff from Home Goods over the years now. My God. I love Home Goods. Some of the more unique items of most of the Halloween places. I think I'm just going to let that dry. Work on this one for a bit. We'll do some roots for that. Not with Halloween stuff, it isn't, Sergeant. The spirits made that very clear when I was born. Alright, you're going into the world, and it's the one who dies with the most Halloween stuff wins. Got it? Okay, good. Well, enjoy your life, and go. Yeah. I still love the idea of Christmas, but I'm sick and tired of having it rammed down our throats every single year. Night, Carla. You lost a lot of weight since leading up to October. You want a diet? No, it's just, Halloween season. There's no money left for food. Not really, Mona. I make my paste pretty universal. That is to say, I completely eyeball it. But I make no special changes for this project at all. Mache paste is as mache paste does. I don't really think so. I mean, the water is going to soak in no matter what, and it's going to drag in anything else with it. And fundamentally, it's the glue and the flour that cause the adhesive effect. So if it's too watery, you're just going to get clumpy, hard cotton. So you really want to make sure that the adhesive element is a distinct part of your mix. All I can say is don't be nervous about it. This whole thing is so easy to fix. If things go wrong, screw up, whatever. Who the hell cares? I mean, my first witch orb, by all intents and purposes, is a screw-up compared to my version 3. You know what? I'm still going to hang it out on Halloween because it still looks good. Compared to my later pumpkins, my first pumpkin looks like garbage. My first pumpkin is still part of my display. Still looks good. Nobody cares. This stuff is all just so easy and forgiving. Make a mistake, who cares? Just fix it. Whoopty snot. Ain't nothing to be afraid of. Whenever I do a first-time project, I always plan on the first one to be a screw-up anyway. You kind of vaguely try for it not to be, but I always expect it to be, because that's what sometimes happens. So what do you do? Yep. Might as well. Use all your stuff. Furballs must be napping. Unusual for them. I bet they can't wait till I go back on a normal schedule. Yep. And that is fine. It's all fine. Perfection is for stressed out screwballs and horrendous offices. Who hate their lives and hate their jobs and wonder why they are where they are. Spend most of their days making other people's lives miserable. Oh, pardon. but craft time. Next week is my last one before school claims me as well. Stony Brook. Yep. Yep, all the kiddos are going back to school. All the parents are going, thank God they're getting out of the house. Yeah, I miss college for the ready access I had to social engagements. I do wish I wasn't such an idiot the first time I went through college. A mistake I had to fix the second time I went through college. Very likely. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Some folks with advanced degrees are some of the most pathetic individuals to walk the planet. I was working in an environmental lab. We hired one lady because she had a PhD in something. And God, she was just a useless human being. She used to blather on safety regulations, OSHA, blah, 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 blah. Should go away and do something that actually helps the company earn some cash, for God's sakes. course, the world is full of all kinds. I suffer from shadows of that myself. Find a lot of that in business too. Administration. We're gonna do it this way. Why are we doing it this way? This is literally the least efficient way we could be doing this. We're gonna do it this way because we've always done it this way. Oh, okay. I see how it is. Yep, they're very basic. Probably got them at like Walmart or Michael's or something. Thank you. Oh, Samhain, welcome back. How are you, my fuzzy furball companion? fast approaching completion. Bonjour Françoise. Merci beaucoup. It's coming out all right. I'm a little worried with how the painting and stain will hold up on the inside. Oh boy, that's a cat. Yeah, no sweat. Give me a sec. Peace here all day. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Coordinate my movements with the camera. Okay, I should be a little lower. But there's the tree number 1. Tree number 2. And probably the 3/4 done stage of tree number 3. So, yeah. Then you have that in conjunction with the skulls. Which one was I working on? This one. I've got a little cotton left. I wonder how much longer I'm going to be going tonight. Probably a little while. I got up late in the day. Power of cotton. You don't have to do a damn thing and it comes out like wood. Sabine! Hi, buddy! Oh boy. Oh boy! Yeah, no sweat. Easy. Meow. Meow. Was that a laser meow? Some hand. I don't even see butt wiggle. There we go. You just went for it, didn't you? That was a no butt wiggle targeting attack. Yeah, it's getting there, Gift. It's getting there, all right. Not too bad. Gonna go for it for long. Yeah, we're thinking. We're thinking. Aha! Ho, 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 ho. Hmm? A few smaller. I forgot this stuff gets a lot tougher when it's wet. Sure. Oh yeah, for the ultimate paper mache stuff. I think that was your comment I responded to earlier. Yeah. I was kind of sad to see that her video has kind of gotten downgraded with all those other fancy crafter jerk bean videos there, when her stuff is a lot higher quality in terms of the actual material. Her video used to be like #1. If you search paper clay, she came up at the top. And now it's somebody selling some product from like China. And that other one is clearly a mainstream. They ain't kitchen crafters, alright? That's all I'm gonna say. Sure as hell are not kitchen crafters. Oh yeah, you could definitely do blood on this if you wanted to. If you were so inclined. Hello? Person whose last name ends with Monteiro. I will totally mispronounce the first part, so... I mean, you could do it. If I had something that would reliably glow, with the light and would carry the refraction down, because at this juncture these eyes will glow with the light from the inside. No problem. Unfortunately, I took that other light and used it. Hey. I will never run out of puck lights. Never. I actually kind of do want to have one right here on the table at all times for lighting checks. Because sometimes if you get a blue light, it will cause other things to illuminate. Yeah, if you get it thick enough, maybe red glue with borax would probably instantly goop it. Yes, Stacy. Yes, it will. Which is both a blessing and a curse. If you want one light to be different in your haunt, you better make sure that its infrared is shielded from the others in the receiving range. Like if I take this remote here and I tell it to turn on this puck, it's going to activate a couple of those bulbs in the back and probably that orb too. So I'm thinking that on Halloween night, the process for me and my haunters is going to be, here's your remote, light it up in the garage, take it to its location. Light it up in the garage, take it to its location. And then if you need to make rapid changes on the go, make sure you kind of shield that orb or bottle or whatever. They should be far enough apart spaced that I don't have to worry about it, but every one of my people is going to have a remote in their pocket. And if they need to change the color of the orb, great. So the other nice thing could be that if I've got somebody who's going down the haunt path and one of my haunters feels like being especially creepy at the time and they're behind them, they could grab the remote out of the pocket, blast ahead, and everything in front of that person who's going down the haunt path will suddenly go red or green or blue. Everything will change. So they'll have complete lighting control of everything with a light in it at the touch of a button, which could be amazingly cool. Amazingly cool. We just have to make sure that we all kind of hide the remotes. So all the trick-or-treaters aren't going, are you using a remote? No, it's dark magic. It's a remote. I swear to God, it's dark magic. Totally a remote. Yeah, I'm very impressed with these, I gotta say. Their size, their compactness, the fact that they're all waterproof. The fact that I get an infrared remote on every single one of them. Really, really, really like them. The utility of them is simply undeniable. Alexa, turn off craft light. Yeah. Like right now, I get the bleed through on the skull eyes. Yes, and very inexpensive. If there was something I could have that would run down the eyes and be able to carry that light with it from the source down a ways, I'd be extremely pleased with it. But no such substance, to my knowledge, exists. With the exception of, you know, liquid water, and that only works if you've got a laser beam that is channeling like right through the liquid water. So there, for the sake of ease. Even glitter glue, the individual pieces of glitter will diffract the light. It will not carry it through it. So, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't match my Haunts theme, Resdoc. It would be a cool thing. It just doesn't match my Haunts theme. My Haunts theme is all creepy forests, dark cornfield, and graves. It's just temporary. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could use that to make a top really, really easily. But that's just a temporary, I need something to hold a light, here you go. I just kind of want to look at the effect real quick. Because I'm kind of thinking my next step will be to paint the inside white so I have a better idea of what the smeg, the coloring is going to be. I mean, if anything, you're getting the best idea of the coloring from this top piece here, because that's occluded with mache paste, and that's closest to an internal white paint job. But I'll have to get a sponge or something and take any actual mache paste and clean it out of the inside. Oh yeah, I'm just going to get some regular acrylic white. I'll probably sand the inside lightly with some rough sandpaper, just so the acrylics get something to really adhere to, and then lay it on. I use a spray, but I don't know if I want these windows in the bottom covered, though I could just mask them. I might do that. I might get a white spray paint, get some masking tape, mask the windows in the bottom, then hit the inside with a white spray. Call it good. I kind of like the blue on it. Of course, the problem with any effect like this, and one of the greatest problems with Witchwood in general, is the fact that it just will not be as effective if it is not externally lit. The internal light will be great. Yeah, purple would be good too. Internal light will be fine and dandy, but nobody's going to see any of this detail if it's not externally lit. Alright, well, we had our fun with the lights. On, everything's on! At the touch of a button, it's all on. Huh. This is slightly worrisome. This is going back to being in a separated state. That does worry me a little bit. I was under the impression the fabric softener would stay blended for a long period of time. Huh. We could have a problem here. Not a huge problem, because it's taken that thing upwards of 6 hours to re-separate, but still. I don't like the fact that it's separating at all. I don't feel bad in my recommendation of it. I don't feel bad putting it in the tutorial. But I thought it would last a little longer. I don't know if glycerin would maintain its occlusion. Oh, that's right, I put the other remote inside the one itself. Off, off, off. Off, off. And this one I actually put in here. Off. Oh, because this was the first Witch War, but it is slightly different. Alexa, turn on craft light. Ooh, bright. So bright. is worrisome. The last one I shook up was this skull. I can see it's starting to separate on the bottom. That was only about a couple hours ago. Not good. Not good. Oh well. It still does occlude. It still can be reshaken. And it's still sterile. My main fear was that fermentation was going to happen inside the bottles. I'm pretty sure the fabric softener will not ferment. Here's hoping I'm right. If I'm not, we're going to have to reshoot a substantial portion of the witch bottle tutorial. Check those in the morning. All right. Night, Joey. Let's do a little more cotton. Not too much more though. Starting to get tired. I'll be awake in time to call the auto shop and say, hey, my vehicle's there. you all figure out what the hell's going wrong with it? I've got to get the theme from Denver the Last Dinosaur out of my head. Alexa, play Dance with the Dead. It's stuck in my brain for like an hour and a half now. It's starting to get a little annoying. Yeah. Home Goods may have their Halloween stuff out, and I gotta get there. I need to know if I am hiring a car or not. Yeah, I doubt they'll be able to have it. Well, they might be able to have it completely set by tomorrow, but it won't be until the evening that they'll have it done by. Ooh, this is saturated. Yep. I'll get to my butt to Home Goods. Buy way too much stuff. In a way, though, I kind of hope they do not have their stuff out tomorrow, because I usually go Halloween shopping with one of my haunt acquaintances. I would at least like to extend the offer to head down to Binghamton with her and let her know, hey, we're going. Want to come do the shopping run for this year? $135.87. Oh, that's a low estimate. I will usually bring about $500 with me if I go shopping for haunt stuff. I don't always use it, and I most often do not. But if I go shopping for haunt stuff, the pocketbook is prepared. Yeah. Stores love me around this time. Though not as much as you'd think. These days, I mean, when I first started doing this Halloween thing, and many of you may be able to empathize, sympathize with this, when you start off doing the Halloween thing, you go to Spirit Halloween or the Halloween shops, and everything looks good. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. You gotta have it all. Oh my God, I want to buy everything. And then, if you start doing it more, it starts turning more into like, yeah, I like that, but it looks kind of cheap and crappy. Yeah, I see what they did there, but that doesn't match the theme of my haunt. You know, you start becoming a lot more discerning the more you do. And as a crafter, you also start running into, oh, I see what they got there. You know, I bet I can make that for about $10 less and have it be a lot better. Yeah, Stacy's knows this. $10 less. Hell, I bet I can make it for 1/10 of the price and have it look 3 to 5 times as good. The standard Halloween crafters, veteran Halloween crafter / haunters, dilemma slash just what you end up with. Oh yes, the debit card, also known as the "What have I done" card.
Yeah, boy. Wow, what's up, Fuzzy Bear? What are you doing?
Oh boy. Oh, thank God the theme from that show is no longer in my brain. Yeah, it was a show from the 80s, I mean. Wasn't even a good cartoon, really. I don't know how it got in there. I don't know if it'll get back in my head, Sam.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Kids, you're going to live with your Uncle Leroy for a while. We can't afford to feed you anymore. It's October, you see, and well, you know. I have a problem. I assume you meant to type Drac, but you know. Ouch and fun. See, to me, cable means cable internet. I haven't had cable television since 2001. More dots, more dots. I really want to do Witchwood on the skull. It looks so good. So good. I'm also thinking I might need a single hole punch. I'll make the most stable hole for the lantern straps. If the supplies are okay and good, sometimes. Lowe's didn't have too much for me apart from like a lot of lighting. They had some cool comet style lights last year that I bought a bunch of after Halloween when their prices went way down. I can always use more skeletons because at this point I'm starting to think I would love to have a skeleton and just witchwood it out and turn it into some sort of ultra incredible scarecrow. Unfortunately, a lot of the times, though, when I'm walking through there, there's just not a lot that really incorporates well. You know, I see the pumpkins that they've got, and I'm just like, yep, I can make paper mache pumpkins. I see the cutesy stuff they've got, I'm like, yep, my haunt's not cutesy. I can't use any of that. So, very limited amount of stuff that actually blends well into my system. Now, if I start thinking about new projects, usually I'll do that here while I'm crafting away, and it starts becoming like, all right, I see how this works. This gives me an idea for how to make this thing, and how would that work? Okay, I need one of these. How would that go? That's when that sort of creative explosion happens. And 9 times out of 10, what I need is actually not in the Halloween stores. What I need is at the craft stores, or it's on Amazon, or it's, you know... If I need anything from a Halloween store, I just need very, very, very raw materials. I need a skull. I need... I don't even know. I need a skull. I need a bone. I need a raven. I need some feathers. Yeah. I need PVC. I always need PVC. I need a black cat. I need a quiet little black cat. Oh boy. Oh boy, Fuzzy Bear. We'll grab the laser in a second. Wow. Yeah, if I see new and interesting stuff, though, that will often be like, hey, I wonder if I can use that in a project. It will occasionally lead me to buying crud I don't need for projects that can be done with far better and more optimized stuff, which is where you go through, you know, making version 1 through 5, which sucks, and then version 6 is the good one, and then you've got versions 1 through 5 eating up space in the house. Now, case in point, I got a high torque 8 to 10 4-watt DC motor sitting right here for a cauldron creep that I have never built. It's been there for about 2 years now. I just need to get around to using it. I got 2 motors from those bobbing head reindeers sitting back in the secondary room. I have never used them. But when somebody was throwing them out, I was like, hey, I harvest the motors off of that? Sure, we're throwing them away. Okay. Awesome. Yep. Creatives are master builders. I'm watch the Lego movie tonight. Creatively repurposed trash. Yeah. I always tend to believe that my craziness is other people's problem, not mine. I've had a long time to get used to it and learn to live with it. Which is probably why I'm still single, but you know. Garage sales are nice. I just need a bigger place at this point to take advantage of that sort of stuff. Curious. I still have that. Nope, it's over here. I've done that before. Where's that thing? I can make something out of it. Oh, I threw it away. No! Well, we're about to find out, actually. Just had an idea about witch-wooding skulls. One of the biggest problems is going to be the size of the pieces of witchwood, and doing them in pure cotton could be angsty. But if you could take that, something else, wrap it in cotton, you might be able to do this a lot more efficiently. to see how this turns out. Another experimental piece here. I try not to do that too much. Sorry, I forgot I needed that. Yeah, Witchwood on skulls, I adore the effect. Those creepers running over and through. It's magnificent. I want to see if this hemp rope plus cotton could be used on a... If I had a full-size skull and I wanted to witchwood it, I wonder if I could use this to make larger strands of witchwood while using less cotton. You can then witchwood over it. We'll see what this piece is like tomorrow. Give it an overnight to harden. Nice. Yeah, you could incorporate all manner of stuff onto it. If it's wrought iron, though, I'd want to spray it with a sealer before I started applying paper mache paste to it, though. So there's an experimental section. Let's grab a piece of just straight jute twine rope. You can make them! If I make any more, I'm going to make one for a tutorial, and that'll probably be it. Let's see what happens when we unthread a couple of pieces. So that'll be another what happens to this tomorrow experiment. Could be a good way to get some filler on a skull without having to have huge lumps of cotton. Alright. Good. Any cutting left? Nope. That is mostly done. So that's what I'm going to take a break for the evening. 2 experimentals. We'll let the lantern dry. Pardon. Yep, little things to try. Clean up this stuff tomorrow. I brought the trash can bin a little too far away from the craft table, and I don't want to throw this stuff halfway across the kitchen. The fur ball needs some play with the ribbon time. Good stuff. Right, we need to dump this camera's memory onto the computer. Righto, gang. We'll catch you hopefully tomorrow. Possibly. See, tomorrow's Monday. I might be going over to a friend's house again. I have no idea if he is doing stuff or not. He was busy last week. He might not be busy this week. We'll see. But doubtless I'll probably be on late at night. Come hell or high water. We'll catch you later on. Gute Nacht. Alexa, stop! It would be late. It'll probably be after 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you know. Kind of like tonight. And to you guys as well. Happy haunting, happy crafting, and we shall see you for the next installment. I am totally going to knock this camera. Oh, maybe not. Cool. We'll catch you then. Alright, can't drop this. Can't drop this. Very precious. Very precious. Alexa, turn off craft light. It's not going to fit in there well, is it? There we go. So, hey, what's that? You want to play with the ribbon? You too, Mage? Okay. If you really wanna, we can.